Good afternoon. At the onset, I'd like to thank Mayor Evans and Assistant District Attorney Mike Caranti for joining me here today. In the early morning hours of August 27, 2023, Jakarah Lopez-Moore reportedly walked away from her home on Wells Street, as she has done before. 2 days later, her family reported her missing, and an investigation to her disappearance began. The search for Jakarah not only included members of RPD, but our entire community came together in hopes of finding her safely. Sadly, on October 14, she was found murdered in a wooded area along the Erie Canal. The investigation to the circumstance of her murder ultimately determined that she was shot and killed by 27-year-old Rain Tapiato in the woods near 1850 Lyle Avenue, the same night that she walked away from her home on Wells Street. This morning, the United States Marshal Task Force located Tapiato on State Street in the city of Rochester and safely took him into custody. At the time of his arrest, Tapiato was in possession of a 9mm Glock handgun, which was loaded with 15 rounds. The identification of Tapiato as Jakarah's killer is not only a product of the hard work and dedication of the Major Crimes Unit, but also that of the officers from Clinton Section and investigators from the Criminal Investigation Section that uncovered key pieces of evidence and information that ultimately led to the identification of Tapiato. This was a team effort, starting with the initial officer that began the preliminary investigation, all the way up to the investigator from the Major Crimes Unit that ultimately brought closure to not only this grieving family, but to our entire community. Mayor Evans.
Thank you. Let me first off start by thanking the District Attorney's Office, the men and women of the Rochester Police Department, who worked tirelessly on this case to ensure that we brought this person to justice. And I hope that justice will be felt for this family. The arrest of this individual will not bring Jakarah back, but I hope that it gives the family a sense of closure. Anytime we lose anyone to a homicide in our city, it is a sad event for us. But when you have someone that is 16 years old and has so much life ahead of them, it's even that more tragic. So I am wanting once again to extend my condolences to the family of Jakarah Lopez-Moore and wanting to thank the hard work of the men and women of the Rochester Police Department for ensuring that we were able to bring this perpetrator to justice. And we know that this will now be adjudicated in a court of law, and we hope that justice will be served. I ask that we continue to pray for the family and that we continue to look over our young people as they go through all of the trials and tribulations that they have in their life. But no one, regardless of their age, should ever meet a tragic fate of being murdered in cold blood like Jakarah was. But again, thank you to the RPD, thank you to the District Attorney's Office, and our thoughts and prayers are with the family, and we will pray for swift justice in this case. Thank you.
I welcome your questions.
Was Tapiato known by law enforcement beforehand?
We don't have that information.
Chief, what was the relationship between the victim and the defendant?
They were acquaintance.
How were you able to pinpoint the exact day of her death?
I'm sorry?
How were you able to pinpoint the exact day of her death?
Well, so during the initial phase of the investigations, the officers and investigators that responded to the scene, they collected physical evidence that helped us determine when she was murdered.
And when was he identified as the suspect?
Later on in the investigation. You're welcome.
Were there anyone walking with her when this incident occurred?
We don't have any information that says that. At this time, the investigation is ongoing.
Can you elaborate on how they were acquaintances?
They had a relationship.
Was he a security guard?
Yes, he is, yes.
Can you go more deeper on what type of relationship they had?
Out of respect for the victim's family, no.
So we're kind of asking the same questions here again. So the issue, the issue we kind of run into here is there's a lot of evidence that's going to come out as the case moves forward. All right, so as we move through the district attorney's office, as the court process plays itself out, we're very limited what we can say now. So we can say that they are acquaintances, that they did know each other. This is not a random act of violence, but at the same time, what that relationship is, that's something that's going to build throughout the court process. So we're gonna call it on questions for now, just because again we're very limited. It's a very sensitive case, and as this plays out, we'll be able to offer more information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.